Good morning, one and all. My name is Manvi, and I'll be your host for today. Thank you for joining us on this webinar, where we will talk about how harnessing the power of data visualization and data mining can help you make smart business decisions. First things first, we will take all the questions at the end of the webinar. If you have any questions, please click on the questions window to submit your questions. At the end of this webinar, we will share the webinar presentation with you within 3 to 5 working days. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. Our presenter and speaker for today is Mr. Srinivas Jallu. Srinivas is the Director, Enterprise Data and Insights at Compunal Digital. He has over 18 years of experience in software development, big data design, data analytics, data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and many other technologies. He has led data projects for several Fortune 500 companies, and his expertise in the data space is second to none. He has hands-on experience working offshore and with remote teams. This makes him uniquely qualified to help organizations today navigate through the new normal. He brings a lot to the table, making me all the more excited to hear what he has to share with us today. Over to you, Srini.
Yeah, thanks for the quick update and quick introduction about me, Manvi. Thanks a lot. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I hope you're all doing well. And I am your speaker for today on this topic, data mining and different trends and technologies and how the data visualization tools and techniques helping in the data mining space. I'm going to talk. Thank you. So this is the agenda for today, so I'll brief about the agenda and then we'll go to the main discussion around the data mining and other topics, so we will discuss today. These are the topics, what is data mining and types of data that supports by data mining or works for data mining, a typical data mining system architecture we will see, and then we'll go to data mining implementation process. This is most important one and all, so everybody wants to know how this can be implemented. So and then we'll move to data mining techniques and technologies that supports and challenges in implementation of the data mining also we see. Then we see a couple of data mining tools and we discuss something about that tools, what is the unique features or how good they are in the market, so and the benefits of the data mining. And then I will touch base two of the use cases are which fits for a marketing one and the other one is for the banking. Okay, so let's go ahead with the main course of discussion. So here, as I said, what is data mining? So as many of you know this thing, data mining. Maybe some of you are very new to this technology. You don't know about it. Some people may know something about it, but not fully. But let's begin and see what's the data mining. So the data mining is a process of finding potentially useful patterns, from huge data sets. So it is very simple. In a simple terms, what I can say about data mining is it is a process defined to find the potential useful patterns or hidden patterns from the huge data sets. Okay, so and the next, right? So it is all about discovering hidden, unsuspected, and previously unknown at valid relationship among the data. So many of the people call this one data mining also as a KDD, knowledge discovery in data. Some people call it as a KDD, and some people call it as a knowledge extraction, data pattern analysis, information harvesting. So you can name it anything, but end of the day, it is data mining. Now I hope you understood what's the data mining, and then we will see the other stuff going forward. So here I mentioned the types of data. So you might have seen some of the different data types of data that I made it available here. Or some of you know all these data sets are the different types of data I mentioned here. So for that matter, I mentioned here relational databases and data warehouses, text databases, object-oriented data sets and databases, transactional and spatial databases, heterogeneous and legacy databases, multimedia and streaming database, and for that matter, advanced DB and information repositories, text mining and web mining. So these are all the different types of data we come across in our regular data journey or in our career. Maybe we may not get the chance to deal with all sorts of this data. Some people who is lucky enough to get a chance to deal with or touch base with all these data sources. Relational databases are most common and widely used databases everywhere. Frequently we can use that. So maybe it could be a Oracle DB or SQL Server DB, Teradata, or for that matter PostgreSQL, any kind of databases. Consider their relational databases. And then data warehouses. Data warehouse is nothing but end of the day a database, but it holds the huge historical data and it consolidated data and it integrated data from across the organization. Different parts and bits it touches and get the data and keep it ready for future analysis and decision purpose. So that's data warehouses. And text databases also you might have seen, and documentum kind of stuff. Documents also stored in certain databases. So there you can see that object oriented. Okay, so and transactional databases. So maybe if you deal with any banking application, banking system, the lot of transactions will happen every day. In fact every second. All those transactions will go and store somewhere in the backend. So that kind of transactional databases also we might have seen. So heterogeneous and legacy databases. The legacy means like maybe a mainframe kind of databases, or you can say data systems. Heterogeneous means here the different formats and different patterns of the data elements will be there. That kind of databases also might have seen. So multimedia and streaming database, which supports to store the pics and the videos and certain social media things and all. So that kind of database is also getting popular and these days in the market. So why I am telling all these things with you and sharing with you, the reason for that is data mining can be performed on all of these following types of data. There is no exception. You might be wonder what are all the different databases that supports for data mining. So each and every database and the data element that I mentioned here, let it be a relational database or a data warehouse, text database, object-oriented database, transactional database, let it be a multimedia and streaming database, a text mining and web mining database, anything and everything can be supported and data mining can be performed on each and every of this database. I hope you understood well. So with that, I'm going further and I will let you know how a typical data mining system and architecture will look like. You know, so here I mentioned a couple of very interesting things and the architecture here. So you may wonder, right? So okay, I know what's data mining, and I also know what sort of databases that can be performed this data mining on upon. So that also we see it. Now you might have seen, how the structure would be, how the data mining system architecture would be, and the data mining will work. Okay, so this is a typical architecture. Sometimes data mining architectures will be even more complex and sometimes more simpler, but to give you a brief idea around it, I made this a picture in a typical way. So if you can see here, as we discussed, normal RDBMS are there, data warehouses are there, World Wide Web, web related data also there, other information repositories are there. So how the data mining work? So data mining needs a huge data set and more diversified data set, and it should cover each and every element within the organization so that it can give you the best pattern out of it. So here, if you look at, first we pull the data um, we apply certain cleansing and we do integration and we do certain selection. What kind of data set is useful for my data mining for particular use case, or the use case is defined at company level. We select the data and then we pull it into a database or a data warehouse server where we combine or club all this data into a one place. From there, there are certain models will be there, so that data mine engine will takes care for that, the knowledge base where the models and other information that requires for data mining to work with, so will be stored and available there. And whenever the user wants to do and run certain mls, I mean models or certain algorithms against this data to get certain patterns or to get certain insights out of this data, so you can do, so if you look at this diagram, it's a two-way. User will give certain instructions, the pattern evaluation will happen, and then data mining engine will pass whatever the model or the code that user is sending it to, and then it will give it to the database or warehouse server, and from there it will get the data from the different sources of the databases, and then finally it will give you the best insights or the correlation between the data and the linking and the, I can say, a relation between the different data points and events here will be uncovered. So this is the typical data mining system architecture, I can say. I hope you understood very well this diagram, and so that we can move ahead and see what are the next things that we plan for today. Yes, this is most important topic and a piece of the today's demo. Why I'm calling that one so important? People knows what is data mining, and then they also knows what sort of databases that supports for data mining. And at the same time, we have seen the typical architecture of the data mining. But until unless we don't know what is the implementation process that involves in data mining, we will not have any clue about it. So for that, I mentioned a detailed implementation steps are the process here. From we will begin with business understanding and then data understanding and then data preparation, data transformation, modeling, evaluation, and deployment. So these are the different steps or the process elements that involves in data mining. Let us brief about one by one, what is this business understanding means. So before you go and jump into actual implementation of the data mining, you should understand the business very well. What is the business use cases and what is the business objectives. Okay, are the client objectives or the business objectives. Without that is ready in hand, you should not move ahead and target and hit around the bushes. So it will nowhere useful, and you will not get anything. You will not move a single inch with that approach. First we should understand the business first, identifying the business use cases or the business priorities are there, um, client requirements or KPIs. So then, and then we need to go ahead with the data understanding. So this also plays a major role. For example, we have a lot of data in our organization, huge data, let it be a ERP, CRM, a transactional data, a old fashioned legacy data from mainframes, or for that matter, finance data we are getting from other SAP system, might be some of the data that you are getting every day through SQL Server, some of the data that is stored in a file system. Everywhere is data is there, but you should understand the data first. Okay, so these are my business objectives. So to fit into my business objectives, what are all the data elements or the data assets that should be touched upon, so that you should understand it well. So the right set, the right data set you will identify. Based upon the right data set, you will perform the other process elements or processed things that involves further. So data understanding also very important as business understanding. And then the data preparation. So once you understood the data, so what's the data is that required, which data set is required, what are the different data is available, out of which one to choose. So once that item is cleared and you are ready with that, the data preparation also plays a major role. What is this data preparation? So in order to get your end results or maybe identify certain patterns, you need to prepare certain data in some format. Okay, so data preparation, I can say in any of the data mining implementation projects, 90% of the time, I can say it will consume by data preparation phase itself. So the third step, what I'm mentioning here, will consume 90% of the time because it's a complex step and very important a part of this implementation process. And then the next, once you are ready with the data preparation, data transformation also very important. Sometimes, right, your data may not be in the right format, how your model is expecting, or the your models are required, or your end objectives are expected. So in that case, using certain mechanism or ETL, or maybe using some scripts or some kind of mechanism, the data transformation also should be taken care, so that you will put this data into a right format, so that there are certain transformations you need to apply. Transformation in the sense you are changing the data elements or the data from one format to the other format, or one pattern to the other pattern. That's it. So that is most important element also, data transformation. Otherwise your model will expect something or some format, but if you are sending it in a different format, your model will fail, your program will fail. So that is also most important thing here. So, and once you're done with business understanding, data preparation, data transformation, then we can go ahead with to deal with the modeling. So modeling is very, very important in the data mining, because that is the base to execute above all and provide below all. That means it will execute the data, and it process the data, it get the data, it will do all the backend stuff for you, and then it will provide the result. That is the evaluation step. The next one is the evaluation step. So how your model is working, what kind of patterns that you expected, and what kind of results it is producing. Is the data set that you provided is sufficient for this to for the model to deal with? So all these kind of evolutionary things will be there in that step. So once you deal with the evaluation and you see that there is a value add, and my model or the data mining program is working as per my expectations, so that I can go ahead. Otherwise, if you find that there is a challenges, or else if you find that there are certain issues with that either model or a data transformation, or else a preparation level, or else in even before, then you can stop it here and you can correct back and then come back. The evaluation also very much important. So the evaluation also carries to the level to match the requirement, client requirement, or the business requirement, business goals with these results. The patterns that we identified, the insights that we are getting out of this data, we will match with that and map with that, so that nobody will have any confusion. We are 100% sure that this works fine. So next step is, once you're identified everything going well, then the next step is the deployment. The deployment also has its own importance here, because that is the place where entire this program will go to the live system, that is production environment or any other environments, so that your mining program or the models or the process will consume the data from the live systems and give you the live results, the live patterns. It identifies the relations between your data, and it will tell you the answers for most of your questions that you supposed to ask for this model. So these are the different steps and process elements that involved for data mining implementation. I hope you're all understood and we are good with this. I'm moving to the next slide. So this is also one of the important, right? So we have seen, okay, what is the architecture, what's the data that supports, and what is data mining and the process steps that involve. I'm good. But if you go in more detail, if you want to know, is there any techniques that I should follow while implementing the data mining and all, so yes, you should follow certain mining techniques here, so what are the techniques that can be utilized and useful here? So classification, clustering, regression, outer sequential patterns, prediction, and association rules. So here the different techniques that we use in day-to-day mining space, the data mining space. So each technique has its own way of importance so that it performs the job very well, Classification. The name suggests that it classifies the data based on a segment or a group, so that's the thing. It will, it will put the data into the right segmentation or a classification. If you look at clustering, right? So clustering also group of data will maintain separately for particular purpose here, so that will be taken care by clustering technique. Regression, the regression and all, outer, this is outer means, sometimes you have certain data, you expected something, but the data is coming something else. That means there must be a fraud or a problem or some suspect operations are happening in the backend in the database. That means you need to more focus there. Outer kind of techniques that is more useful for fraud detection, maybe a problem detection, uh, fault detection. So these kind of areas we can widely use this outer technique, and then sequential pattern. Sequential pattern is it combine the past actions with the future predictions or future actions, so whatever we give, right? So certain past results also it will combine and join with the future patterns, it will draw a map and give it to you how these patterns are mapped together from the past, from the history, from now to future prediction. So the next one is prediction and association rule. As the name suggests, it is for predictive analytics and all, because whatever the data that we get today, after we applying these techniques, we may understood that what was happened previously or in the past. But based on that, what is my prediction? Okay, based on my past result or past things, I could expect certain things, I could predict certain things in this direction. This is my prediction analytics, I can say. So these are all the techniques I covered. Even more techniques will be there, some of the hybrid techniques. Always we cannot use one technique to derive the entire pattern or insight that we are expecting to match with the business. Here I can say sometimes hybrid techniques, that means we club together certain techniques and we implement and get the best results out of this data. So these are all the different techniques I mentioned here, but these are not limited to, these are one of the key important techniques I mentioned here. So the next one, I hope you understood what are the techniques here, but let us see, the challenges in implementation of data mining. Okay, so what are the challenges? Before you do, before you take a decision to do anything, you should know the challenges involved in that implementation of data mining also. So what are the challenges, especially we observed and I observed from our company perspective, from our customers, and even being a data experts, we ourselves observed. Okay, to implement the data mining, skilled experts are required, need to formulate the data mining queries and all. It's not that easy job, not everyone can perform the job, because we need to have a skill, so that that skilled persons only can write the queries or the code or the build the models and all. So for that, skilled experts are required. Those are very rare, so I can say. And overfitting. What is the overfitting here? Due to a small training database, a model may not fit future states. Majority of the places why the data mining will fail, customer will give us very smaller data set. You will build the model based on the data availability and the patterns and the relations you might be identified. Based on that, you put up a model. But as this is a smaller data set, so this will not work for the bigger data sets, because maybe in the bigger data set, in a huge volumes of data, there might be some other patterns or other formats of the data also will be available. There your model will fail. This model may not fit for the future states. The data mining needs large databases or large volumes of the data, which sometimes are difficult to manage. When I'm saying I need a large database or the large volumes of data, but to maintain that large volumes of data or database is also a tough job. Okay, and then the next one, business practices may need to be modified to determine to use the information uncovered. So one more hesitation from the business part of the world within any organization, any of the corporate sector, so whenever we identified certain flaws in the system, identified through data mining, boss, these are the problem, these are the bad decisions that you made, or these are the patterns identified which talks about you need to put up some changes in your business policies or practices. But when you say this to business team, they are not ready to change that immediately, because it takes a lot of efforts and time, sometimes money also required. But even if they don't have any confidence where it leads to and where it ends, so they don't want to implement it, then whatever the results that your data mining models or the program derives, there is no use until unless the business teams are using it. And the next one is, if the data set is not diverse, so data mining results may not be accurate. So what does it mean? Data mining expect diversified data. That means it should include all sorts of permutation combination of data. If you provided unified data today, tomorrow your model has to deal with the diversified data, it failed. At the same time, it cannot produce the right results. Results may not be accurate. This is one more challenge while implementing the data mining we observed. And the next one is integration information needed from heterogeneous databases and global information systems could be a complex a piece of thing here. So why I'm saying, sometimes the data will not sit into a single place or maybe in a single format. The heterogeneous databases and other global information systems should combine together to give us the data. That operation itself is a complex thing to get the data for us. So that is one more challenge I can say we observed here while implementing data mining. You might have got a clear idea what kind of challenges we may face while implementation of the data mining, or else we will have while implementation of the data mining by this time. So let's move to the next thing and see. These are the data mining tools. So some I mentioned very few. There are dozens of other tools also available, but I mentioned here most popularly or widely used. But so I mentioned one by one. R language, most of the people had about R and R language. It is a statistical analytical programming language, and this tool will give us a lot of sophisticated programs or the libraries to perform our job with data mining to uncover the best patterns and all. Even the same case with Python. Python will have a huge set of libraries within it, so that it can uncover each and every pattern of the data that's supposed to be deal with through models. Okay, so these two things are most commonly and widely using across the globe, because those are open source. Open source, how you want to configure them, it works for you in the same way. So there is no money cost there, there's no cost involved over there, and it is all about your efforts and the skilled people. If you have, you can write your own code so that you can build your own model using either Python or R language, and you can execute at any point of time. So this is the best benefit of R language and Python. And lot of external support also there, user community support also there, Python in R language, because it is most popular. Day by day, number of programmers are increasing, number of clients that are using and utilizing for one reason or other reason, this R and Python is increasing. So everywhere it is widely populated. So whoever wants to use implement the data mining, these two options can be preferable. And I also maintain some proprietary tools also. What does it mean? The SaaS, it's a proprietary tool from SAS company, SaaS company. So it is the product, it's a ready-made. What's the advantage? You need not to struggle much to write the programs and all. With a minimum knowledge and all is fine here. The reason behind it, it's already configured and made the product ready for you. It is all up to you to how you configure certain settings and put up your own model using the SAS data mining tool. It is very powerful tool, and it is very useful, and especially in the I saw most of the healthcare and pharmaceutical industries are using this SAS tool. But that SAS is not limited for only healthcare or pharmaceutical, but that industry is using more this tool. And Oracle data mining. This is the Oracle product. It comes as a module within one of the Oracle analytics database. Okay, so what does this tool do? Whatever the data that available within the database that was sitting upon, it will deal with that, so that it will fetch all the patterns and all the patterns and insights and valuable information out of it. So that is about Oracle data mining. And data rapid miner, this is one more very popular tool, I can say. Within this, you can integrate either R or Python language also to customize some of the libraries or the models here. That is one more important thing. And then Veka, Veka also one more popular tool. It provides the huge number of machine learning libraries and the code base for you, so you can use it ready made. And the Qlik, I mentioned Qlik. It's a basically a most popular data visualization and reporting tool, but it has certain capabilities to deal with the mining in terms of the visualization portion or the pattern display portion. But I didn't mention all the tools here, but I mentioned very few here. So with respect to data visualization tools, like either Power BI or Tableau also support some of them. Until I mean, if you are ready with integrating with R or Python kind of language, there is a flexibility to integrate R language within Power BI as well as Tableau. So if you can write your program over there, it will identify certain patterns. It will give you certain predictions. You can maintain certain predictive analytics out of huge data sets also. But I didn't mention that tools. Those tools also can be some of the options, I can say. And then I hope you might have got an idea what are the different visualization tools or the data mining tools that can be used to perform the job. With that, I'm moving to the next slide. So benefits of the data mining, so let us see, so far challenges we have seen, implementation steps we have seen, and different techniques we have seen, and the tools also we have seen so far. Now we will see some of the benefits that we can achieve through data mining. So data mining facilitates automated prediction of trends and behaviors, as well as automated discovery of hidden patterns. So if the data mining program is ready and your model is ready, so that every day it will provide automatically all the prediction of trends and behaviors, as well as discovery of hidden patterns can be possible. And data mining helps organization to make the profitable adjustments in operation and production. How it can do, if a particular program or the model within data mining says that this is the a pattern or insight, you are spending more money on these items or this line of business, or else for these vendors, and you are paying less amount or less expensive for this vendor. You choose these vendors or the vendors from this region over that region. So this kind of predictions it can give. By using that, we can do some adjustments within operational and production excellency. And data mining is cost effective also and efficient also when compared to other statistical data applications. As I mentioned, right, there are certain statistical applications are there, but there is a huge cost is involved over there to maintain. with comparative to that, data mining is little cheaper, but it will provide you the good results. And it helps the decision making process also. As I said, when you know the pattern, when you uncover the hidden patterns and insights, you can take the decision. So it is useful for decision making process as well. So the next one is data mining techniques helps companies to get knowledge based information, so this is the you can use this data mining application or the program as a knowledge based information system, as KDD I mentioned in the initial slides, so it can be implemented in new system as well as existing platforms also. That means to implement data mining, you need not to worry on particular system configurations and all. Based on your requirement, even you can utilize the existing system also. You need not to go for a complete brand new platform to buy it and implement data mining. That is one more advantage, but that is as per your requirement. That depends on your requirement, what it needs and what it not need. Okay, so and then it is speedy process, which makes it easy for the users to analyze huge amount of data in less time. In many of the companies, they don't have the data mining application kind of, they don't have certain processes. Okay, so what the users do every day, they log in, they pull the data manually, they will break their heads to understand the hidden patterns and analyze the data. But if you have the data mining kind of system or the program or the model in place, so it gives the patterns. You need not to worry much, all you need to do just analyze the patterns and take the decision, and it saves a lot of time. It can provide us all these insights in less time. So I hope you understood certain benefits of the data mining. There are a lot many, I didn't mention all of them here. Okay, so now, okay, well, we have seen enough about data mining so far, and how the data visualization tools and the different techniques within that would be useful also we have seen here. And now it is time to see some of the use cases. Okay, you might have certain questions in your mind. Okay, boss, everything is good, but how it is useful for me? Okay, especially. So can you tell some use case so that I can correlate and come up with certain other use cases for my business in my industry or my organization? Well, let us see. This is one use case for marketing. So what is the, I mentioned the problem statement in the left side and the solution right side. This solution will be provided by the data mining itself. Okay, it's here the problem is, consider a marketing head of a telecom services for that matter. Okay, who provides, I mean, who wants to increase the revenues of long distance services? In telecom services, there are different services. Local calls, STD calls, ISD, international calls, long distance calls, these kind of different segments of services. So one of the marketing head of a telecom services wants to increase his revenues on a particular service called long distance services. Okay, so what's the next problem? For high return of investment on his sales and marketing efforts, customer profiling is so important. So without knowing the customer profile, you cannot target anyone. He has a vast data pool of a customer information like age, gender, income, credit history, etc. But it is impossible to determine characteristics of a people who prefer long distance calls with manual analysis. This is the main problem for him. So you want to increase or improve revenues of long distance services, but at the same time he has a very vast data pool of the customers, but he don't know which segments I should target to get this business done or to increase the revenues on long distance services. Because who are that age groups, who are that gender, maybe what is the income groups they carries, and what is the credit history for them. So how to target, whom to target, so that my target of increasing the revenues of a long distance services will be achieved. So this is the problem statement. Now let us see the solution. Using data mining techniques, he may uncover patterns between high long distance call users and their characteristics. Because if you build a model which will uncover certain patterns between long distance calls makers or users, right? So they will identify that certain characteristics. For example, if they could identify like, okay, the customers, okay, are female and married, and the age group of 45 to 54, who make more than $80,000 per year, who spend more than $80,000 per year. So if they identified this kind of segment, okay, they can get this kind of customers detail. They can target them by offering certain offers and providing certain things, so that the marketing team head can achieve his goals doing, and he can increase the revenues of long distance services. So this is the problem and solution, and we have seen the this use case for marketing. Then I hope you understand about it, and let us go and see the other use case for banking. So in this I mentioned again one problem and then a solution also. So what's the problem for a banker? A bank wants to set new ways to increase revenues from its credit card operations. As you know, banking will have a lot of operations. Let it be a credit card, debit card, fixed deposits, loans. Within that, loans, auto loans, and then home loans and mortgage loans. For that matter, any kind of personal loans. Different operations will be there. But a bank head of the bank wants to such new ways to increase revenues from its credit card line of business or operations. They want to check, so what they want to do, they want to check whether usage would double if fees were off. So what is what they are thinking is, if I made the fees is off, will my end users, that means will my customers credit card usage will be doubled or not? They want to give a try, but before you go and give a try, you need to have a particular proof of concept in place in hand to support your statement. So data mining can help in that kind of problem statement. Bank has multiple years of record on average credit card balances, payment amounts, rate limit usage, and other key parameters. Right? The bankers definitely will keep all of our data, my data, your data, anybody's credit card history and credit card transaction data, and our customer details, everything they will capture. Even credit limit usage also they will capture. They, for example, if we create a model to check impact of the proposed new business policy, okay, so the data results show that cutting fees in a half for a targeted customer base, could increase revenue by 10 million. So that, okay, what my past history was saying, maybe whenever I made the fees is off, these many customers made more transactions, so that my revenues got increased that time by 10 million. So that now, the head of the bank or group head of the bank will see this figure, okay, 10 million if I made off, what I need to do, what is my targets, how to deal with it, so that they will have a proof of concept in hand, so that they will do their best decisions. So these are all the some of the use cases I mentioned here. It is not like it applicable for only banking or marketing. There are many use cases we can see. Okay, so with that, I'm moving towards questions. I will make a pause here, so that if anybody has any questions for me, I will happy to answer. So thank you. Yeah,
Thank you
Manvi,
so much,
go ahead.
Srini.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. To all our attendees, we are now ready to take any questions you have. You're requested to please post them in the questions window and we will take them one by one. Also, please note if you are unable to take some questions due to some time constraints, we will get back to you for sure. So, Srini, I have a few questions. So
Great.
the first question is that how are the latest data visualization tools helping the data mining space in today's scenario?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, right, the data mining tools and platforms are different than data visualization. Okay, but there are certain data visualization tools like a ClickView or else ClickSense, for that matter, Tableau, Power BI kind of tools. If you are good with writing the R programming kind of stuff and can enable it with the tools like Power BI and Tableau, they can identify certain patterns from your data. So that way we can use the latest and um, um, very greatest tools and technologies like Tableau or Power BI, or for that matter ClickView, ClickSense also will be useful. And apart from that, I also mentioned a lot of other purely data mining tools also there. I hope I answer your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Srini. I hope that answers the question well. Another question I have is like, what kind of data does data mining support?
So the data mining support any sort of data. As I said in initial slides, it supports either relational database, data warehouses, text database, it's streaming data, or else maybe legacy data, so mainframes data, or else for that matter, any kind of data, whatever the data format that you have, data mining supports for that. There's no limitation as such. Thank you. I hope I answer your question.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. The next question we have is basically like the one of the attendees has asked this question. Suppose we were to
Mhm.
get all technology in place 100% by the next month, that's April 2021. How will this technology
Mhm.
stack help meet or exceed strategic business objectives with the use of data mining?
Definitely, definitely. Good question here. So only technologies and tools will not suffice here. Our planning and understanding the business goals, everything is important. Even though you put all the right tools and technologies in place, you may not achieve the end goal. So you need to have a proper plan, and your plan will have clear implementation steps, and each step will be quantified and qualified with particular parameters and metrics, so that you can quantify or qualify your work, so that whether you are going right direction or wrong direction. For that matter, data mining also one of the tool or technology. Okay, if you feed the right data to it, and for example, you have a business goal or at client goal or maybe business goals, right? So in order to align with that business goal, you need to identify the right data and right data set, so that data mining will go and dig into the data based on the model that you constructed upon. It will give you the best patterns out of it, best insights out of it. Up to that, it's data mining program or process job. From there, it is your job. It is your job, our company job, our business stakeholders and business heads, and our CEOs, CFOs, maybe CIOs, their job to take this decision, move faster, so that you can complete your project or your work so quickly, and you can see the end results so quickly. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Srini, for answering that question. Another question next I have is, how much time does it take to implement a data mining project? So if you talk about the
Definitely.
timelines.
Yes, yes. Definitely. There is no specific timeline we can mention here. That depends on the requirement. For example, your requirement is very simpler. You have one database. Okay. So out of one database, you want to see the results using data mining. So you can achieve it using maybe in 3 months also. Maybe a little complex scenario with multiple two, three other databases also there. Identifying the pattern is little difficult. Okay, so writing the model and fit that model's objective is in line with the business objective is taking time. So in that case, it goes 6 months also. Whatever my past experience says, especially I have seen the projects from 3 months to even 1 year. So that depends on the size of the project and how bigger problem you are dealing and achieving. That's what. Hope I answered your question. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Srini, again. Next question we have is, what kinds of businesses can use data mining?
So there is no limitation. As I mentioned here, only two use cases I mentioned, one for marketing and other for banking. But just for an example, I mentioned there is no limitation at all. You can be implement this data mining for any line of business. For that matter, you can use the data mining for any industry, for that matter, retail, education, manufacturing, healthcare, pharmaceuticals, and banking. Any of the places you can use it. Hope I answer your question.
Yeah, that's great, Srini. I have a very interesting question from one of our attendees. The question is like somewhat like when in the C-suite management, like we discuss about using data mining and data visualization, how it helps your data. So, what is the ROI like? Once you execute this kind of technique and process, so as to kind of make smarter business decisions. So, how to convince your bosses and what is the ROI? Like, what's your take on that once you implement this project?
Yeah, got it. I understand your question. ROI will something where business people along with the different stakeholders to analyze and see that. But when you deal with the higher management and make them convinced, boss, so this technology, particular technology, or maybe data mining with certain data visualization tools and technologies combination will help you in this way. See, for example, either of the technology or the software or the person in any of the company, they are there just because to solve a problem. That's it. This is simple phenomenon. So in case of data mining also, you need to identify the challenges or the problems within the organization. If you can able to solve that problem and provide the end result and answer to that problem, definitely your bosses will convince. So that depends how bigger problem you are solving, how smartly you are solving, so that anybody can understand. End of the day, they need a problem solvers through some manner. Data mining and with some data visualization tools and techniques combination is one way of doing it. So that's it, I can say. We can get definitely we can solve majority or many of the business challenges using these techniques and process. So with that, definitely, so any of the business stakeholders or the management, top management will get convinced with that. Okay, so as long as you are showing the results and closing the problem statements so quicker and so efficiently and accurately, definitely they'll get convinced. Hope I answer your question. Thank you.
Very well answered, Srini. Totally convinced with the answer. I hope so. Our audiences are also convinced. And also, I would like to ask one thing about data visualization. Few of our attendees, they are interested to know that we've pretty much talked about data mining. So, can you throw some light on how data visualization especially helps in making prudent business decisions?
Yeah, so for example, so data mining is something back end stuff, right? So it pulls the data and it will massage the data. It will apply the modeled program against the data. It will send the patterns and some insights. But end users or the top management or the business users or individual heads, those are not technical people. Those are not technical people. So they cannot deal with the system so complex. So in order to get them on board and utilize them, take them a part of this process or program, if you have a data visualization tools like either Power BI or a Tableau or a ClickSense, for that matter, any of the other solutions in place, they can see the visualizations, these patterns in their visualizations, in their views, in their day-to-day reports and dashboards, so that they can start using it very quickly. So the using of that reports or visualizations or patterns within self-service BI kind of tools like Tableau or Power BI, it's very easy and so sophisticated tools. They can use it in laptop system, for that matter, for their mobile. Anywhere they can use it, so that it helps a lot to combine and coordinate and integrate each and every corner of the organization and the people around in single place to use the insights. Hope I answered your question.
That's great, Srini. Thank you so much for all the answers. And so we are at the top of the hour. So thank you so much for being a part of the webinar, everyone, all the attendees. And we hope that you have some key takeaways from this session. Thank you, Srini, for your time today. Before closing, I would like to call out to check on our forthcoming webinars. Expect this webinar replay in your inbox within 3 to 5 working days. Thank you, everyone, for your time today. Have a great rest of the